All right, everyone. So let's continue. So we were discussing this chapter, final accounts, and in the final account, we have started the questions based on adjustment entries. So before proceeding further in this chapter, I want you, uh, to do the journal entries for the adjustment topics. So we will be covering, first of all, before doing any question in this chapter, we will be looking at the journal entries for the adjustment topic. So the adjustments are required for the advance income received, accrued incomes, closing stock, and if there is some outstanding expenses, or for all those items we require adjustment entry. And before after recording it in the final account, we have to pass the journal entries for the adjustment entries as well. So we will be looking at those journal entries, then we will do questions based on the adjustment entries. So just give me a moment, let me change the PowerPoint, and this time you will have to note it down. The journal, you will be required to note down the journal entries. Just a moment. Okay, is the slide visible to both of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. So the first journal entry will be for the closing stock. So if there is any adjustment entry given in the question for the closing stock, so the journal entry for the closing stock will be this. Please note it down. Closing stock account will be debited to the trading account. This will be the general entry. Let's suppose if the closing stock is rupees 30,000 given in the adjustment entries of the question, then after posting it into the relevant column, after preparing the final account, at the end of the final account, we will also journalize the adjustment entries. And for the journal entry, for journalizing that particular adjustment entry, we will be journalizing it as it is given on screen. Closing stock account debit to trading account. That means if closing stock is 30,000, then we will be debiting closing stock 30,000 to trading account 30,000. Done. Okay. Moving on to next adjustment entry. If there is any adjustment entry regarding the outstanding expenses given in the question, then general entry for the outstanding expenses will be, tell me first of all, just tell me, what do you think, what is outstanding expense? It is a liability, income, expense, asset, or what? What are outstanding expenses? These are asset, liability, income, or expense. Tell me, Alexander, what is outstanding expense? If there is any outstanding expense given in the question, then how do you treat it? Whether it is treated as an expense or an income or a liability. Outstanding expenses are liabilities. These are liabilities. So the general entry for outstanding expenses will be expense account debit to outstanding expense. So expense account debit to outstanding expense basically means that expenses are increasing. Therefore, we have debited the expense account because our expenses are increasing. Therefore, we have debited the expense account, and our liability is also increasing at the same time. Therefore, we have credited the liability account by the name of outstanding expense account. So let me give you an example. Let's suppose there is an outstanding rent of rupees 1,000. Rent is outstanding. So what is going to be the general entry for outstanding rent? General entry will be rent account debit to outstanding rent account. Getting my point? We have to debit the expense, whatever the expenses we have made, If wages are outstanding, then we will debit the wages account. If rent is outstanding, then we will debit the rent account, and we will credit to outstanding wages or outstanding rent, whatever the expenses that is outstanding. Tell me, Alexander and Hamad, is this clear, both of you?
Yes, sir.
All right. Then general entry for the prepaid expenses. If any adjustment entry is given in the question regarding the prepaid expense. So prepaid expenses, what? Prepaid expenses basically means that it means that we have paid the expense on advance basis. Let's suppose a certain expense is to be incurred on the next of the 15 month. We were required to make the expenditure on the next of the 15 month, but we have paid it on advance. So expenses that is paid on advance is our asset. This is considered as our asset. Just like outstanding expenses are liability, similarly prepaid expenses or expenses paid in advance are our asset. Getting my point? So therefore, when you make the expenses in advance, our asset increases. And whenever asset increases, what do? We basically debit the asset account, right? So the general entry for this will be prepaid expense account debit to whatever the expenses that you have incurred. Prepaid expense account debit to expense account. Getting my point? Let's suppose you have paid rent of rupees 1000. So rent is paid 1000. So here rent is paid on advance basis. So the general entry in this case will be prepaid rent account debit to rent account. Prepaid rent account debit to rent account. This will be the general entry in this case. Tell me, Alexander, Hamad, and Halima, is this clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
All of you are writing this now? Because
yes,
we will be basically when we will be preparing the final account, we have to journalize all the adjustment entries. So I want you to note it down in your notebook. Please do it and let me know when you are done. Then we will move to the fourth adjustment entry. Done. Shall we move to the next slide? Halima, Hamad, and Alexander. You guys are still writing, Alexander?
no, I'm done, sir.
Writing.
Writing. Do it quickly, Halima. Or if it will take time, then I would recommend that you take the screenshot. Then, so the general entry for the next adjustment entry will be, let's suppose there is accrued income given in the question, or income earned but not received. If there is accrued income basically means that income has been a person is entitled to receive the income, but this income hasn't been yet received. Let's suppose my salary gets due on 25th of a particular month, but till the 30th of that month I did not receive the salary. So in that case, salary is accrued but not received. Getting my point? Any income that is not yet received, any income for which you are already entitled, but that income is not yet received, is known as accrued income. All right. So accrued, the journal entry for accrued income will be accrued income divided debit to income received. So why accrued income has been debited? Because accrued income is also your asset income for which you are already you are entitled, but you did not receive that income is considered as your accrued income. All right. So accrued income account debit to income received account. This will be the general. So let's suppose we have this interest due but not received. Suppose there is an income of rupees 5,000 by the name of interest, but we haven't received it yet. So the general entry will for this particular income will be accrued income to debit to income received. The general entry will be interest, accrued interest account debit to interest received account. Accrued income debit to income received. That is what we were required to journalize. So we will journalize it as accrued interest account debit to interest received account 5,000. Tell me, Alexander, Hamad, and Halima, is the general entry clear to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Halima, is this clear now?
Clear.
Let's move to the next point. Income received in advance or unearned income. Now tell me, if income which is for which you are already entitled but not received is known as accrued income, and I have just told you that accrued income is your asset, right? Similarly, if income which is received but it is not yet accrued, it is unearned, you are basically not yet you are not yet entitled for receiving that income. That means you are receiving certain income on advance basis. So whenever income is received on advance basis, that is considered your liability until it is actually due. Getting my point? Let's suppose if income is due on 30th of a particular month, but you have received that income on the 20th of a particular month, right? So income which is received on 20th is known as advance income. Just like accrued income is an asset, similarly advance income is a liability. And because you are receiving income and your liability is increasing, so the general entry for this will be income received account debit to income received in advance account, right? Let's suppose there is an example, rent received in advance rupees 5,000. So the general entry for this will be rent received account debit to rent received in advance account, right? Is there any doubt? Alexander, Halima, Ahmad?
No, sir.
Okay. Moving on to next point, that is depreciation. Now, as we all know, depreciation depreciation is basically reduction in the value of the asset over the period of time. So depreciation, what does the depreciation do to our asset? Depreciation basically reduces the value of the asset. And if asset reduces, we should credit the asset account, right? So whenever there is any additional entry given in the question regarding depreciation, the general entry for that will be depreciation account debit to fixed asset account. Let's suppose if depreciation is charged on machinery, plant and machinery, 1,000. So the general entry for this will be depreciation account debit to plant and machinery account. Depreciation account debit to plant and machinery account, right? Please note it down. Next item. Next, we have interest on capital. So interest on capital is a liability for the business. If there is adjustment entry given in the question for the interest on capital, general entry for this will be interest on capital account debit to capital account. Interest on capital account debit to capital account. So I want all of you to note each and every journal entry. You will be able to understand all this when we will actually do a question based on all these concepts. So let's suppose there is one more additional entry, adjustment entry, that is interest on drawing. So interest on drawing reduces the value of the interest on drawing is also a liability for the business, and the general entry for this will be drawing or the capital account debit to interest on drawing account. So this basically, whenever there is drawings, it reduces the value of the capital in the business. Drawing reduces the value of the capital. And similarly, if there is interest on drawing, it will also reduce the value of the capital. And whenever capital reduces, we debit the capital account to interest on drawing account. Please note all of these. We will be doing questions, then you will be able to understand all this. Don't worry right now. Done, everyone? Halima?
Done.
Okay. Ahmad? Done? It's clear now, everything? Okay. All right. So let's do a question quickly. Just a minute. Okay. So we will do this question. Just a minute. Let me open the question. Okay. So I think we did this question in the last session, right? Yeah, we did this question in the last class. Okay. So now we will discuss few more adjustment entries, then we will start a question. So let's suppose if there is any prepaid expenses given in the question. If there is prepaid expenses given in the question, how you will be going to treat it? I'm not talking about the general entry. I'm basically saying if there is adjustment entry given in the question regarding the prepaid expenses, then in that case, how we will be treating it. So because there is prepaid expenses as I just explained you that prepaid expenses is your asset or liability. Tell me, Alexander, prepaid expenses are asset or liability? Prepaid expenses are asset for the business or the liability. Expenses that you have made on advance basis is considered as your asset or a liability.
Sir, asset.
Correct. So because this is an asset, first of all, we will, because it is an expense, number one, we are making expense on advance basis. So first of all, we will record it in the profit and loss account, and also because it is an expense, so we will again record it in the balance sheet. So this is how it will be done. First of all, we will record it in the profit and loss account or trading account, depending upon the type of expense it is. If it is a direct expense, then we will be recording it in the trading account. Otherwise, we will be writing it in the profit and loss account. And once it is recorded in the profit and loss account, then again, we will be writing it in the balance sheet on the asset side, So this is how it will be done. So let's suppose there is a trading account and balance sheet. So if there is prepaid expenses, first of all, we will be writing it in the trading account. So let's suppose wages has been paid on advance. So we will adjust the advance wages paid with the wages already given in the question. So wages plus prepaid wages will be recorded in the trading account, and also again it will be shown in the balance sheet by the name of prepaid expenses. Okay. Now, if there is any interest on capital given in the question, so interest on capital is basically an expense. So first of all, we will write it in the profit and loss account, and interest on capital increases your liability. So we will record it in the balance sheet again. And in the profit and loss account, we will be writing it on the debit side, and in the balance sheet, we will be recording it on the liability side. This is how it will be done in the profit and loss account and balance sheet. In the profit and loss account, we will write it on the liability side, interest on capital, and on the in the asset, sorry, in the profit and loss account, we will be debiting it in the profit and loss account, and in the balance sheet, we will be writing it in the asset liability side, capital plus interest on capital. Okay, so guys, let's do this question quickly. So again, in this question, we need to prepare the final account. So all of you, first of all, make the format for the final, basically trading account, profit and loss account, and the balance sheet. All of you, please prepare the format of the trading account, profit and loss account, and the balance sheet. Then we will start recording the item one by one. Let me know when you are done with the format. Done, everyone? Done with the format? All of you?
Yes, sir.
Done.
Okay. So the first item given in the question is machinery. So before recording it in any account or balance sheet, we will first ensure whether there is any adjustment entry regarding machinery, yes or no. If there is any adjustment entry given in the question regarding machinery, tell me guys, Alexander, Halima. And
Yes. Yes, sir. There is.
Additional item number second is regarding the machinery. So here it is written that there is a depreciation of 10% on machine. Okay, no problem. So first of all, guys, write down the value of the machine in the balance sheet on the asset side, everyone. And from that value, we will be depreciating 10% of the value of the machine. So 10% will be 40,000. So we will write down the value of the machine in the balance sheet after adjusting the depreciation. That means machinery 4 lakh minus depreciation 40,000. Let me show you how it will be done. Just a moment. Okay, let's suppose this is how you have prepared the balance sheet. So in the balance sheet on the asset side, we will write down machinery 4 lakh minus depreciation 10%. It will be 40,000. Done. And now we will write down the final value here, 3,60,000. This is how it will be recorded in the balance sheet, first of all. Then again, this depreciation will be carried to the profit and loss account as well. So we will prepare the profit and loss account. And in the profit and loss account, you will be recording the value of the depreciation on the, tell me, on which side? On the debit side or the credit side, Rima?
Debit.
Debit side. So we will write down depreciation on machinery. I'll write down 2 depreciation on machinery. On machinery, value will be 40,000. So this is how it will be shown in the profit and loss account. Okay, I hope it is clear to you. Item number 2. So the second item is cash at bank. So there is no additional entry regarding the cash and bank. So first of all, write it down, cash at bank in the balance sheet, 1 lakh on the asset side, and cash in hand also in the balance sheet on the asset side. Alexander, Hamad and Halima, please write it in the balance sheet on the asset side. Cash at bank and cash in hand, 1 lakh and 50,000 separately. Then we have the 4th item, wages. And I can see that there is the adjustment entry also given in the question regarding wages. So wages is given 5,000. The additional entry in the question is regarding wages outstanding 5,000. And in the table as well, we have the information about the wages. So wages is actually 1 lakh and outstanding wages is 5,000. So who is going to tell me how we will be treating it? Alexander, could you please explain how we will be treating the wages?
Yes, sir. We have to add
Yes.
5,000.
Yeah, we have to add 5,000 in the wages, and the entire amount will be recorded in the first of all in the trading account. Wages in the trading account will be recorded at 1,05,000. Correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then outstanding wages will be recorded in the balance sheet on the liability side, right? So please,
Yeah.
please write it down in the balance sheet as well. On the liability side, outstanding wages, 5,000. Next item. Next we have is purchases. So I don't think there is any adjustment entry regarding purchases given in the question, and neither there is any purchase return given in the question. So I hope, because there is only purchases given in the question, so we can directly write it in the trading account on the debit side. So please record it in the debit side of the trading account. Purchases 8 lakh. After that, we have stock on 1st April 2018. That means we have opening stock given in the question. So until now, you must know that opening stock should be recorded in the trading account. So please write it in the trading account to opening stock 6 lakhs. Halima, Hamad and Alexander. Let me know if you guys have any doubt. After that, after opening stock, we have sundry debtors, and there is no adjustment entry regarding the sundry debtor as well. So entire amount will be recorded in the balance sheet only on the asset side. Sundry debtors 4,40,000 on the asset side. Done, everyone?
Done.
Done. Then we have bills receivable, and again there is no adjustment entry for bills receivable as well. So entire amount should be recorded in the balance sheet on the asset side. Then we have rent, and there is adjustment entry regarding rent is also given in the question. Additional entry number 4, rent prepaid. So rent is 45,000 and rent prepaid is 10,000. That means entire amount of rent will be recorded in the profit and loss account on the debit side. Rent 45,000 plus prepaid rent 10,000. That means total rent in the profit and loss account should be 55,000. And prepaid rent, because prepaid rent is our asset, therefore we will post it in the balance sheet on the asset side as well. So in the profit and loss account, value of rent will be 55,000, and in the balance sheet it will be recorded at 10,000. prepaid rent at 10,000. Done, everyone? Moving on to next item. We have commission. Commission. There is no additional information given regarding commission. So we will write down the entire amount on which side, on which account. Tell me, Alexander, Hamad and Halima. Tell me on which side and which account the value of commission should be recorded.
Profit and loss account credit.
Profit and loss account credit side. Okay. Alexander, where it should be recorded according to you?
Sir, debit side.
Debit side. Correct. Okay. Hamad, where it should be recorded according to you? Debit or the credit? Debit side. Correct. Why it should be recorded on the debit side? Because this is the trial balance given in the question, right? And in the trial balance, you can see that commission has been shown on the debit column. You can see that commission is shown on the debit column. That means any basically it should be treated as an expense rather than income. Commission here means it is a commission paid. If commission would have been shown on the credit side, then you could have treated it as the income. Getting my point? Commission this time is considered as a expense because it is shown in the debit column of the trial balance. So therefore, we will record it in the profit and loss account debit side. Halima, is this clear now?
Got it.
Then we have general expenses, no other additional information regarding general expenses given in the question. So entire amount will be recorded in the profit and loss account debit side, 80,000. Then we have salaries. So salary is obviously an expense, and there is additional information is also given in the question. Item first, outstanding salary 45,000. So salary 50,000, outstanding salary 45,000. That means total of 95,000 should be debited in the profit and loss account. So we will add outstanding salary in the value of the salary 50,000 plus 45,000, and the entire amount of 95,000 should be debited to the profit and loss account, right? And again, the outstanding salary should be shown in the balance sheet on the liability side by the name of outstanding salary 45,000. Tell me, Alexander, Hamad, and Halima, is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Clear.
Then we have on the credit side of the trial balance, we have capital. So capital is what? Capital should be recorded in the balance sheet liability side. Please write it down. Capital 9 lakh in the credit side of the balance sheet. And don't write it in the final column of the liability. You will write within the final column of the liability, because we have to adjust it with the drawings as well as with the basically the profit that will be carried forward from the profit and loss account. So capital 9 lakh. Then we have sales. Again, sales is a trading account item. So we will record it in the trading account. Buy sales on the credit side, 16 lakh in the sales account, in the trading account. After that, we have sundry creditors. That is a liability. It should be recorded in the balance sheet. So 4,50,000 should be shown in the balance sheet. After that, we have interest received. After that, we have interest received. And there is additional information given in the question as well. Provide for interest on capital at the rate 5%. So anybody is going to tell me how we will be treating it? Anyone? How we are going to deal with the interest on capital at the rate 5%. Tell me. Any idea, anyone? No idea. Provide interest for provide for interest on capital at the rate 5%. How we will be treating it?
Sir, like after calculating 5% from capital, we'll add this interest with that interest received.
Correct. So we will add 45,000 in the interest received. 5% of 5% of capital is 45,000. 5% of 9 lakh is how much? It will be 45,000. So we will add 45,000 in the interest received. 30,000 plus 45,000. Is that what we will be doing?
Sir, like this will be prepaid expenses or other type of expenses, or we'll just write interest received, add interest, and we'll calculate that. Like that we'll do.
Okay, and anyone else want to explain how we will be treating interest on provided interest? Ahmad? Nobody have any idea? Alexander, any idea?
No, sir.
No. Okay. So interest provided is an expense. Got it? Interest that we have provided is an expense. So first of all, we will write down the interest that has been provided in the profit and loss account. So on 9 lakh, we will calculate 5%. That will be shown in the profit and loss account, number one. Then because we have paid interest on capital, then the same amount will be reduced from the value of the capital in the balance sheet. Do it quickly. Do it, everyone. Done, everyone? Alexander, Halima.
Done.
Done. Okay. Then we have the last item in the question, that is closing stock, 8 lakhs. So write it in the trading account as well as in the balance sheet. 8 lakh on the debit side and on the credit side of the trading account, and again on the asset side of the balance sheet. Now tally all the accounts, calculate gross profit, net profit, and let me know the final value of the asset and liability. And after doing that, we will be passing the journal entry for all the additional information that was given in the question.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, please tell me, Alexander.
What are we supposed to do with the interest received again?
Interest received as an income, or it should be recorded on the credit side of the trading account, or of the profit and loss account. Sorry.
Okay.
Interest received is an income as it is shown on the credit of the trial balance. Therefore, we will be writing it in the profit and loss account, credit side. Calculate the gross profit. Trading account, on the credit side of the trading account, sum total of sales and closing stock is, I think, 16 lakh plus 8 lakh, right? So it will be 24 lakh on the credit side. And from 24 lakh, we will reduce the value of the opening stock, 6 lakh. And then there is, I think there is purchases of 8 lakh and wages will be total 1,05,000. So we will reduce out of 24 lakh, we will reduce 6 lakh, 8 lakh, 1,05,000, right? And the remaining balance would be our gross profit. Let me calculate. The gross profit should be
9,05,000.
9,05,000. Let me calculate. Minus 6 lakh minus 8 lakh minus 8,95,000 I'm getting. 8,95,000. Alexander, you're getting the same answer, gross profit, 8,95,000.
Sir, I'm calculating.
Still calculating. Please use calculator now. Done, everyone. Gross profit, everybody got gross profit 8 lakh 95,000.
Yes,
Sir,
sir.
I got it.
All right, now calculate profit and loss, net profit or net loss. I think we have committed one mistake here. Tell me how did we treated rent paid? Rent prepaid has been added or subtracted in from the value of the rent. Alexander, whether we have added prepaid rent or we have reduced it from the rent of 45,000.
Sir, I added.
Add.
Added. Okay. So this is incorrect, guys. As rent is prepaid, that means rent does not belong to the current period. That will be the due date for the rent will be at some future date. So rent that is prepaid, that has been paid on advance basis, that rent does not belong to the current period. Therefore, we will have to reduce it from the rent paid. Rent of rupees 45,000 basically include prepaid rent of 10,000. So we will have to reduce 10,000 from 45,000. All the prepaid expenses should be reduced instead of adding. So rent of 45,000 minus prepaid rent 10,000. Net rent will be 35,000. That will be shown in the profit and loss account. Please do the correction, then calculate net profit or net loss.
Sir, net profit will be 6,85,000.
Like 85,000, okay. Alexander, you getting the same answer?
Sir, I got 6,05,000.
6,05,000.
Yeah.
Let me think. 6,05,000 I think is correct. Halima, please check your answer. Total of the credit side of the profit and loss account, all of you got 9,25,000, right?
Yes.
Total of the credit side 9,25,000. Out of 9,25,000, we will reduce the amount of rent. That will be 45 minus 10, 35,000. Then 25,000. And for general expenses 80,000. And salaries will be 95,000. Then we have depreciation and interest 45. So I think the correct answer should be 6,05,000. Hamad, you are getting 6,05,000. Yes, okay. All right, guys. So please carry forward this net profit to the balance sheet. Adjust it with the capital. And then calculate then tally the asset and the liability side. Tell me the total value of the asset side. Halima, Alexander, or Hamad, anyone? Total value on the asset side of the balance sheet. Fixed asset, I think you must have got 3,60,000. Then there is closing stock and sundry debtors, bills receivable, prepaid rent, cash at bank, cash in hand. Okay. So it should be 3,60,000, 8 lakh, 4,40,000, 2,90,000, 10,000, 1 lakh, and 50,000. And I think the sum total should be 20,50,000. All of you getting the same answer? 20,50,000 on the asset side. Alexander, you are still calculating?
Sir, I got 12,50,000.
How did you get 12,50,000? Okay, let everyone else finish. Halima, you're getting 12,50,000. Alexander, could you please tell me the items,
I'm calculating.
asset side item of in your solution?
Sir, machinery, 3,60,000.
Correct.
Cash at bank, 1 lakh. Cash in hand, 50,000.
Mhm.
Sundry debtors, 4,40,000. Bills receivable, 2,90,000.
Mhm.
Rent prepaid, 10,000.
And closing stock as well, no? Closing stock.
Oh, I didn't do that.
Okay. Halima, you are getting 20,50,000.
Calculating.
Still calculating. Done, Alexander. Both the sides are telling yes or no. Asset and liability side both are equal.
So 1 second. So yes, sir.
Okay, good. Done, everybody. Ahmad, both sides are tallying in the balance sheet, yes or no? Yeah, okay. Very good. Halima, what is your status?
In balance sheet, one side I got 2,50,000. I mean 2,05,000.
20,50,000, and on the other side?
That I'm calculating.
Okay. All right. I hope both the sides will tally. Now let's quickly journalize all the additional entries, guys. We'll have to journalize all the entries. So first of all, the journal entry for the outstanding salary will be, anyone? Journal entry for the outstanding salary of 45,000 will be, tell me. So the journal entry for outstanding salary will be, just a minute. All of this, because outstanding salary is a liability, so we will write down outstanding for outstanding salary. The journal entry will be salaries account debit, to outstanding salary, account 45,000. Got it, everyone? Alexander, Halima, Ahmad, is this clear? All of you, for the first additional entry, the journal entry for that will be salaries account debit to outstanding salary account. Is this clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now we have the next item, depreciation on machinery at 10%. Depreciation on machinery at 10%. So the journal entry for this will be, tell me, anyone? Journal entry for this will be Any idea? This general entry is very simple now. Depreciation, the general entry will be for the second additional item, additional information. Depreciation account debit. Depreciation account will be debited and depreciation will be charged on, check. Yeah, depreciation will be charged on machinery. So the value of machinery was 4 lakh. So depreciation will be 10% of 4 lakh. That means 40,000 to machinery. 40,000. Done? Is it clear? Hamad, Alexander, and Halima.
Yes, sir.
Then we have the next item, next information. The next information is regarding wages outstanding. All right, so wages outstanding is how much? It is 5,000. Tell me the general entry for wages outstanding. For outstanding wages, the general entry will be wages account debit. Wages account will be debited to outstanding wages account. Outstanding wages account. 5,000. Tell me, Halima, Hamad, and Alexander. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Hamad, it is clear for you? Yes, okay. All right. Then tell me the next general entry. The general entry for the next item. Rent prepaid. What will be the general entry for the rent prepaid?
Sir, prepaid rent account debit to rent account.
बहुत बढ़िया. Very good. Nice. So the fourth item, fourth general entry will be prepaid rent account debit. Prepaid rent account debit to rent account. Okay. And then we have the last item. Provide for interest on capital. So the general entry for this will be capital account debit, right? Capital account debit to interest on capital. No, basically interest on capital account debit to capital account. Interest on capital account debit to capital account. This will be the general entry for the fifth item. Interest on capital account debit to capital account. Done. And the last general entry for the item 6, stock on 31st March 2019. That means closing entry, closing stock general entry will be, tell me Alexander, what will be the general entry for the closing stock?
Yes, sir. Closing stock account debit, but sir, it's
Closing
on
stock,
two.
sorry,
Sir, it's on two accounts, right?
two trading account. It will be two trading account.
No, sir, but it's there on the balance sheet as well.
Yeah, okay. So it is there in the balance sheet now. So for that, we are debiting the balance sheet account. We are debiting the stock. Therefore, we are debiting the stock.
Oh.
Stock account has been debited because it is an asset. Therefore, we have debited it, and then we will credit the trading account. So therefore, we have two trading account. Done? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is it, guys. I'll be giving you one question for your homework based on the same concept. Just a minute. Okay, please take the screenshot of this question and do it in your homework. So in this question as well, we have to prepare the final account and make sure you also pass the general entries for this, for all the adjustment given in this question. Take the screenshot. Done, all of you? Halima, Ahmad, Alexander.
Yes, sir.
So this is it, guys, for today's session. Thank you so much for attending class. And all right, goodbye. Then now we will take a break of 5 minutes, then we will continue with our economic section. Alexander, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Alexander, can we do just one thing, that can we skip today's class, because Steve is not here and I wanted to start a new chapter today. And if the beginning of this chapter will be missed by him, then he won't be able to understand anything in this chapter.
Oh.
So can we do the next class for economics?
Sir, are you sure? If we wait, will he come?
I'm not sure. Okay, let's do one thing. Let's wait for 5 minutes. Otherwise, we will skip today's session, and I'll ask Nishkarsh to arrange an extra session with you tomorrow. Will it be
Oh.
possible for you to take the session tomorrow?
Tomorrow, it's fine.
It's fine, huh? Tomorrow or maybe on Monday, if you are comfortable taking class on Monday. Monday,
Yep.
Otherwise we will be taking class on the Monday only.
Both are okay, actually.
Okay. Okay, so let's wait for 5 more minutes, then we will decide to do.
Okay. Excuse me, sir. In class, I mean, in our school textbook, when they said journalized transactions, the teacher did like she journalized all the items, you know.
All the items in the profit and loss and the balance sheet.
I think so, yeah.
Generally, for all the items are not required. Journal entries will be required for all the adjustment entries specifically. You won't pass any examination to pass the general entry of all the items given in the question. But general entry will be asked for all the adjustment items.
Okay. No, but in this question, I'm looking at in the journal, it shows trading account debit to opening stock, then purchase. No, sales account debit to closing stock.
Okay, so basically all the items have been generalized. That is what you are saying.
Yeah.
Okay, so that can also be done, Alexander, but generally in examination that kind of question is not asked, because if they will ask you question like that, it will take a long time to solve those questions, because we need to prepare the final account. What I'm saying is that that kind of question won't be asked in your examination if question is asking you to prepare the final account. But if general entries question is asked, then there is a possibility then you won't be able to you won't be required to prepare the final account. In that case only they may ask you to journalize the transaction. Just do one thing. First of all, just let me know which book you are following. You are following the DK Goyal or TS Garewal? Or NCRT?
It's NCRT.
It's NCRT, yeah. Okay, so can you do one thing? Just take the screenshot of all those questions, and can you please share it with me so that I can go through the question and exactly able to understand what is your concern, what is your problem, where
Okay.
there is the problem. So take the screenshot of all those and share it with me.
Sir, how can I share?
You will have to go through basically who contact you for the class. Nishkos contact you for class or someone else contact you for the class?
Um, he introduced himself as like Shreyanshi or something like.
Okay, no problem. So just share the question that person and ask her to share it with me. Tell
Oh.
her you basically sir have asked on these screenshots.
Okay.
Okay, Alexander, let's do one thing. Let's start the chapter. I'm not sure whether he will be joining or not, and we can start. What do you want me to do? Do you want me to skip today's session, or you want me to continue with the new chapter? Just tell me.
Sir, I'm not sure either.
You're not sure either.
Yeah.
Okay, just let's do one thing. Let's take a break today. We will continue with this chapter, with this new chapter on Monday.
Okay.
Okay for you? We will be starting that chapter from statistics. That this will be probably dispersion, measure of dispersion, that we will be talking about in the next session.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. So this is for today's session. Goodbye.